Well, hello. It's Mr. J with a lesson today that's not directly from our textbook, but it's a skill that I want us to develop, and it is how to use this dynamic software called Geogebra. And this tutorial you may need to watch a couple times or you'll get stuck at different times. And I'm always there to help you, but the first thing I might say to you is have you watched the video because this is a new skill set and it'll take time. So be patient, persevere. I know you can do this. And this software is something we're going to use all year long, and the practice will pay off. And knowledge of GeoGebra, as I've told you in class, will help you in higher level math classes like Algebra 2 and into calculus. And the better you get at this, the more it will be a tool and a resource for you in problem solving. I really love when students are working on a problem of the week and they go to GeoGebra as a tool to solve it, to display something, to make calculations, to make it visual. So let's jump into it. I've got a couple things to show you. These are the 5 skills that we will do, and I'm going to have you take screenshots of what you complete and put it in a Google Doc and then save that to your mathematics folder. So there are 5 of them here. Copy segment, perpendicular bisector, which we've gone over before, copy angle, angle bisector, and the sum of 2 angles. I hope to do this in about 12 to 15 minutes. Do expect it to take you guys a little bit longer, and as always, reach out to me. So to do this, we're going to go over to Chrome, and as I've told you guys before, to get to GeoGebra, go GeoGebra Classic, and you're going to do geometry. And now we have a blank sheet here for us to look at. And the first skill is going to be copy segment. So we're going to need a segment that we're going to copy. And let's go ahead and draw it out there and find its length, even though we're not measuring anything particularly in these objectives. But it's nice to know that we've done it correctly when I've copied this somewhere else. Now this is a very basic construction, and I just want to make sure I know this length of 9.48. I'm going to copy it down below, and a lot of the times we're going to just draw a ray somewhere for where we're going to put things, and rays go on forever. As you can see, it keeps going off to the right, and if we ever tried to find the end of it, we would never find the end. It just keeps going. So that is a ray. The name of the ray is ray CD, and to copy this down, it's really one of the things that a compass does well. A compass does really 2 things well. It draws circles well. The physical compass, of which I had one here in front of us, but I can show you what it looks like, a geometer's compass. And if we go to images, I bet we'll see a bunch of different compi, I guess. So let's see what they look like. Here's the idea here, the pencil, and there's the compass next to it. And here's an old-fashioned one. This one here is more like a compass that I'd see, and I like these with the wheel on the middle because it really locks in that radius. So that you can see how this would be very good for measuring how far apart 2 things are without using numbers or a ruler, and also how this could draw a circle by having a center point and then rotating the other point, if it was a pencil tip, around that center. So in dynamic software, the way we do this is we go to the compass tool, and in this case, the radius I want to set it to is AB. So I'm just going to click on that. And now this circle has that radius, and I'm going to drop it down to the ray. I'm going to find the point of intersection between this ray, click on it, and it gets highlighted, and click on the circle, and we find the point of intersection. And then we've really copied it. We've copied AB down to CE. And that's all we need to see. If we want to find the distance here, you can't click just on the ray. We have to click on the endpoint, C to E, and you can see it's the same. And as I've shown you, I think you can change this. But that's it for copy segment. And I want to show you how you write some text on here. And we can say copy segment and click OK. And it's here now, okay? And I think if I select it and I want to make it a little bit bigger, I think in here we can say the size. Let's go to large or very large. And now the tools for doing a screenshot, it's Command Shift triple box, which is the 3 boxes. It's one of your function keys. And take a screenshot of this and you'll be done with number 1. Now instead of starting a new file, the thing I like about Geogebra is we can just move this out of the way. And so now we have a new blank sheet to work on. What's the next thing we need to do? Perpendicular bisector. So go back to Chrome and let's draw a segment, which I am here. And the segment, you can do it horizontal or vertical. I did it vertical the other day. And we will do FG is the segment that we're going to bisect. I'll put a radius tool up here because as we see with the compass, we need a little radius tool, that little segment there. And so I'll put that one here. That'll be our our radius tool. And I will take the compass tool and click on the center here. You can also, if I hit escape to get out, oops, it does some centering here. You can also set the radius by clicking the endpoints, H, I, and now it knows the radius as well. Either way is fine. So we can bring that down here. And I'm going to do a second one. See that it's still highlighted in blue? You want to make sure you know what you're on. There's our selection tool. Use that all the time. And now the compass tool, and let's put this over here. You'll see that the radii are not long enough, so we're going to extend this until they intersect, which is more than halfway. Halfway, it looks like they meet, but you want to go over halfway, and then we'll go to intersect the 2 circles, and then draw a line between these 2 points from here to there. It really clicks into place when it's done correctly, right? If it's not clicking in, like you can't have it sort of in the area. Like if I do line and I think I have it and I go here, it's not in the right place. So make sure it's capturing the points that you want. So J to K, lock it in. And I do like to show you, and you guys can change some colors. You can change it to a different thickness. You can make it dashed. In this case, I don't want it dashed. I'm going to keep it solid. And let's just clean it up a little bit. We can move it so it's centered a little bit better for your screenshot. And so we have this point right here will be the intersection of our perpendicular bisector in our segment. And then I'd like you to add in that it's a right angle as well. So we'll do that by doing the angle tool. This is an angle measurement tool. So G, L, J. And you'll get used to knowing which angle you want to measure. I go clockwise around in my 3 points. So if I do this one, F, the L, K, it's on that side. If I had done it a different order, if I do angle J, L, G, you see that's not what we're looking for. That's the reflex angle. So try to do it in order. I can do J, L, F, and that'll show that it's right angle. And if you don't like how it looks there, you can drag this out of the way. You can actually change how it looks over here in terms of its naming. The settings will tell you, do we want to see the object? Do we want to see the label? So I kind of like it like that. And we can do the measurements here as well. Let's just see that both sides are the same length. So the distance from F to L and the distance from L to G. And that looks good. And let's add a text box here. And we'll call this a perpendicular bisector. And again, if you remember, if you want to make it bigger, select it. Make sure you select what you're talking about and then go up here and go very large. That's fine. And then do a screenshot of that and paste that into a Google Doc. All right, 2 down. let's keep going. Find a little more space. Go back to notebook, copy angle. Copy angle is the skill. So back to Chrome. And let's do an angle. And if you know how to make an angle, it's with two rays that have the same vertex. So do one ray and a second ray. And we can measure this angle clockwise, O, M, N. And so that's angle M, it calls it. And we don't need that beta symbol there. So we could click on that and say, let's not show the label. Oh, we want to show the label. Oh, well, I don't need the name. Let's see if that'll do it. Well, you see, I'm learning all the time too. Oh, name and value. I wanted to have just the value. There, that looks better. Now we're going to copy this. We need a place to copy it to. And so what I'll do is draw another ray down here. And I want to copy this exact angle onto here. So again, we're going to do the compass tool, which is not up here right now, right? We want to do the compass tool in the circles. But I need this radius tool, so I'm going to go and do a segment somewhere. And I'm going to take my compass and copy this circle with a certain radius, whatever this radius is, and put it on my angle. I'm going to do another one of those and put it on the ray that I drew. Now what we want to find is really how far apart these two rays are on this radius. So let's do the intersection here. Intersect of the circle and the ray, and the circle and the ray, and this circle and the ray. Now, I said we want to measure, and a compass is very good at measuring, so we can go ahead and connect these two with a segment. And this here, this little segment here, is going to be, I'll change the color here and just make it stand out. That'll be our new radius for a circle. And we're going to take that and put it on this point V and find the intersection between these two. And then we'll draw a new ray that goes from P through W. So see if you, it's kind of like making a little machine here. So the circles are connected, these bigger circles. And the smaller circle here is based on how far apart these rays are on the circle. So if I change their distance, it changes that other circle. Can you see that? And let's go ahead and measure now the angle down here. That's the angle measuring device, and we'll do Q, P, W, and you'll see it's exactly the same. So that is copying an angle. All right, it may be useful to change the color of this one too. Let's make that green, because that's the one we added in the end. And then we'll come back and go into text, and we'll call this copy angle. It's a little bit small. You could actually add the writing back in the Google Doc when you do that later, but this is fine here, and we are done with copy angle. Let's move this out of the way, find a little space, and let's do the next construction. So we've done 3. Angle bisector. Okay, so the way we do that is we're going to have an angle which is made of 2 rays. You can see our letters have changed now because we've gone through the whole alphabet, so now it's really the second A and the second B and the second C with that little subscript. And we want to bisect this angle. This angle right now is a measurement of almost 40 degrees. Remember, we can click on that, get rid of that funny looking Greek symbol and just do the value. And we want to bisect this. So another compass tool and radius tool, and I think you'll get good at this. You're going to take this circle and put it down there. And let's make it a little bit bigger. And we are going to find the intersection between the ray and the circle, and the ray and the circle. And now we want to really bisect this. So it's like just picture this for a second as a segment between these two, and we want to do a perpendicular bisector of this segment here. So the way we do that is we actually need another compass tool. I don't want to use the same circle size as before. And I'm going to take this radius and put it on F1 and do another one on G1. So we have bisected this segment and find the intersection of these two circles. Finds both intersections, and both are fine, and come in and draw a new ray that goes through either J or K. And let's change that color a little bit. And we'll go to blue this time. We can get rid of this. And now let's see if it's working. If it looks like it's working, I can change my original angle. You can see if the circles separate. We might need to make them bigger. And so there's a lot going on here, but I hope that makes some sense to you. And we can see what happens as we come closer. And just to make the point here, it's 45 degrees total. Let's find half the angle measure and go B, A, K. And that looks like it is half. Okay. And we'll add a text box and say that this is bisect an angle. And let's make it bigger. Click on it. And very large. Okay, that's number 4. Let's move this out of the way. Take your screenshot, add it to the Google Doc. And the last one, it's nothing really new, but we're going to have 2 angles. Say these two, and this angle. Let's make that one more acute, smaller. And we want to put them both together on a new angle over here. So really what we're going to do is copy one angle down here and copy the other angle and piggyback it on top of it. And so if you remember, we need a compass or radius tool. So we need a segment first. And we're going to use this radius in 3 places. 1, 2, and 3. And then we have some intersections to find. Intersections of how far apart these rays are on the circle. So we can do intersect of those and the intersect of these and the intersect of this. And you don't have to draw this in, but I find that students do like to draw in these segments if you want to, because those will be our radii. You can't quite see that one. Can we see that that is really a segment there? And so we're going to go to the compass, the compass, and we'll copy this. Like I said, you could do the endpoints and put it on here. And so that intersection will be the first angle right there. So let's finish that one. Let's draw a ray and go from here to here. So that's still the copy angle idea. So we've copied the first angle, and we can see if it works. Good. And now let's piggyback this one right on top of it. And so we'll do the compass of the distance between these two. And we'll place that right on top. And then we'll find the intersect of this and this. Oh, excuse me, no, it's this circle and this circle. It is okay to make mistakes. The undo button over here is your friend. And so you can always go backwards. All right, and let's just see if this one's copied over. This goes to 0 and back up. And just to finish it, let's go ahead and make this one blue and this one green. Something like that. I'm not even going to deal with the measurements here. I hope you can see. that it's working. I can even bring this one down. That's the blue one coming closer to 0, and the green one is up on top. And we need text, and this is sum of two angles. And let's make it a bit bigger. And we have very large. And take a screenshot of that and put it in your Google Doc. So this is really about skill building and learning a little bit of your way around GeoGebra and also doing your construction tools. And so when this is in your Google Docs, you'll have something for your portfolio that I guarantee every high school wants to see, that you know how to do some constructions. And doing constructions on GeoGebra will be even better. So please, we'll work on this a little bit in class, and then you'll have some time at home to work on it, and I hope this video serves as a resource for you. Thanks very much.